Hi, I'm Mike with Citadel School of Self Reliance. Today we're going to be talking about food storage in our Bug Out, Bug In, Get Back series. Today we're going to talk about line 1, line 2, and line 3 food. All of your gear should be organized, including your food, into line 1, line 2, and line 3. With line 1 food, you're talking about the stuff that's in your refrigerator, your eggs, your milk, your spoilable products, anything that will go bad in a matter of days without refrigeration. So that's your line 1 food. When you're preparing your line 2 food, which is the food in your pantry, you should center it around a 30-day emergency. We suggest to our students that they plan to eat out of their pantry for around 30 days. That's more than enough time in any emergency for either help to arrive or conditions to change back to the way they were before the emergency started. And if it goes longer than that, then you should be getting into line 3 food, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But if it goes over 30 days, then you're probably in a situation where it isn't going to get better for quite a lot longer. When you're preparing your 30-day supply, the way that you should do it is you should think about a concept called copy canning. The easiest way to build up any stockpile is by copy canning. Let's say that we have 1 can of this turkey, or 2 cans of turkey in our pantry, and you use 1. You should keep a grocery store list, and when you mark down, you should mark down 2 cans on your shopping list. So you replace the one that you ate, and you get a spare. So when you put them back in your pantry, you end up with 2 cans stored and 1 extra. So when you use another one, mark down 2 and get that from the grocery store, and you're slowly building a stockpile of food without a lot of money being put out all at once. But you're also looking to get this to a 30-day stockpile of food. And it's very important that you think around those terms. And if you can't do 30 days, then we suggest at least doing a week worth of food that you could live your entire family out of your pantry for at least 1 week. And don't forget about the nutritional aspects of it. Don't get things that you normally wouldn't eat. Get things that you normally do eat, and by all means, don't get all the same thing, like 30 cans of Spam. By week 2 or 3 of an emergency eating nothing but Spam, you'll probably clutch a pistol and wonder whether or not you want to eat the bullet or the Spam again. So diversity, that's going to keep you happy during an emergency. One last word on your line 2 food. You should think about storage life and the type of packaging that it has. We talked a little bit about the enamelized cans, but packages like this is just a seasoning pack from any local grocery store. But even though it's paper on the outside, it is metallized, a Mylar substance on the inside. And this increases its storage life greatly. Even though the label on this one happens to say that it expires in 2012, it actually won't. If this package is just kept cool and dry, it should last for about 5 years in this packaging. On the subject of packaging, we should be looking at Mylar bags, anything that's metallized. Metal blocks light, and the plastic that covers it makes it sealable. And we get a lot of people asking about vacuum sealing, and vacuum sealing is a very good idea, but remember that nature abhors a vacuum. It doesn't like it. It works against that vacuum and does everything it can to destroy it. So while it's good, it also has some drawbacks. And the thing that we found that's better is if you take food like this, the dry goods or any of these things, and you place them inside of a metallized Mylar bag with oxygen absorber packets that are commonly available online, they don't cost very much, and then seal them in a 5-gallon plastic bucket. And the easiest way to do this is to just place the stuff inside of your Mylar bag, put it in the bucket, and we recommend using Gamma Seal lids. They have a rubber gasket around them. This goes on top of your 5-gallon bucket, and then this screws into the bucket, making an airtight seal. It's also watertight, and with the Mylar bag, you've effectively blocked oxygen and moisture and light. So you've eliminated 3 of the enemies of food storage. Anyways, something like this, these types of foods stored in a bucket like this with Mylar and an oxygen absorber should be able to be stored for around 10 to 12 years. Line 3 food should be comprised of number 10 can freeze-dried food. Number 10 cans like this, as long as they're not compromised by an outside influence, rust, rodents chewing through the cans, or just getting punctured, then they have a 30-year shelf life. Now, 30 years on freeze-dried food, it doesn't really mean that it goes bad at the 30-year mark. What it really means is that the nutritional value of the food has started to decay at that point. So you're losing nutritional value with every year that passes its maximum expiration date. So the food is still edible, you're just not getting the same nutritional value. But 30-year shelf life food should be included in your line 3 storable foods. Some people consider freeze-dried food in packages like this to be line 3 food. And in point of fact, it is not. Anything that's line 3 should be above a 10-year storage life, and most of these are actually not. Some people also consider things like MREs to be long-term storage food, and they are under certain conditions. An MRE, if it's above 70 degrees, its lifespan is cut down to between 3 to 9 months above 70 degrees. And if it's at 90 to 100 degrees, the lifespan of this product is only about 3 months, and then it becomes worthless. So I really don't recommend them unless you're going to keep them in a place under 70 degrees Fahrenheit. These are less affected by heat and cold. As a matter of fact, almost not at all. They only require water to reconstitute them, and they are good for around 10 years. If you include these in your buckets with your Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers, any of the freeze-dried pouches will last in excess of 10 to 15 years. And that's a lot of bang for your buck. And if you're including these maybe in your line 2 food, it's a quick meal, it doesn't take up much space, and it's easy to use. A vital part of your food storage plan is storable water. Bottles like this are perfectly fine for short-term and medium-term storage. It's very important, though, that you do keep them out of light and that you keep them in a cool place. Most of these bottles contain a chemical called BPA. And when the bottle gets warm, it leaches out into the water, and BPA can cause long-term health effects. So it's fine to store these for a couple of years, especially if you store them in a basement or something like that, out of direct sunlight and in a relatively cool place, and you'll get maximum storage life out of them. In the short term and long term, you can use containers like this or some of the food grade 55-gallon drums that are specifically designed for water storage. And if you just chlorinate your water and keep it in a canister like this, then you're going to get several years out of the water. 10 plus in some cases. Another thought on water storage is remember that once you run out of stored water, you're going to have some way to replace that water. So you should be thinking about a ceramic filter. Something like this. This is ceramic on the outside, and on the inside it has man-made and natural carbons. And it filters out everything from heavy metals to bacteria, viruses, and even nuclear contaminants. These systems, made out of 5-gallon buckets like this, are commonly available for under $100 depending on the filter unit that's inside of them. And they consist of things that you can get at your local Walmart or hardware store, all except for the filter. So any part or piece that you may break, like the spigot here, you can easily replace for just a few dollars. This particular filter and bucket system will do 40,000 gallons of water. Depending on how dirty it is. So remember to think about how you're going to replace your water in your food storage program after you run out of stored water. Make sure that you plan that beforehand. And think about where you're going to obtain the water that you're going to be filtering. And remember, when you're making your plan for bug in, bug out, or get back, that one plan is none. 2 plans is a plan. Have a redundant backup. Thank you.